Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank Be Chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so what we're gonna be doing on this cut is we're gonna be trimming the top a little bit. He is combing the hair back, so we're gonna make sure we trim it just enough to where we can still comb it back. We're lining up the beard slightly on the cheek area. We're not bringing it too far down. We're not pushing it in. We're not doing anything underneath, and we are gonna trim the beard slightly, and we are doing a mid fade. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, we're doing a mid fade. Alright, so you can see what I'm doing here, guys. I'm taking my water bottle, and all I'm doing is saturating the top of my client's hair, and I'm combing my my client's hair back. That way I can actually see what the hair is doing before I set in my guideline. And as you can see me right here, what I just did was I combed up a section of hair and I set in my first guideline. And as you can see, I'm coming back just, a little bit with each section after that. And it's bringing up some of the previous section, and that's helping me create my initial guideline coming all the way back to the crown area. So now that that is done, what I'm doing is I'm setting in my sections the opposite way. However, I'm still working my way back, but every section that I bring up has a little bit of that guideline that I set in the middle of my client's head. So it has a little bit of that guideline. So any hair that's longer than that, I'm making sure to cut off, and then I'm moving my way over to the right, still picking up a little bit of the previous section. That way I can see what needs to be cut. And then we're gonna be doing the same exact thing to the opposite side. So that's basically why I sped this part of the video up. And then now what I'm doing is I'm just combing the hair back, seeing how it lays, doing some, just checking it, making sure it's all even on top. So now I'm taking my 50 cal BMG by Caliber, and I have my number 4 guard on my clipper. This isn't the guards that came with the clipper. These are my color guards. And I like to use my color guards when I'm doing my videos because I feel that I can see a little, I can see better of what I'm doing. That sounded weird. That's not the proper way to say that. I can see more of what I'm doing. That's what I was trying to say. But as you can see, guys, I am using that comb. I'm keeping that comb in my hand, combing the hair the way it lays, or the way we want the hair to lay. And I'm also using that comb to feed in the hair into this number 4 guard. As I'm cutting it, I'm making sure that I'm coming up and I'm floating my clipper. That way I don't create too harsh of a line. And what we're doing right here, guys, we're basically going to do this to the back and to the right side of his head also. So I am going to be talking about this clipper in this video, not too much, but I'm just going to give y'all my, some more thoughts about this clipper and, what I think about it so far. So when I was using this clipper, this really made me notice that it doesn't cut wet hair too good, So the top of his hair was a little wet, and I'm going over it with the 4. So that's why it's taking me a while to go over it, and I'm going over it a lot of times. It doesn't really cut wet hair too well, but nonetheless, it got it done, But I noticed that about this clipper when I was using it. Alright, so what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm taking my Low Pro FX trimmer from Babyliss, and I'm just setting in my bald guideline. And I'm just going to set this all the way around. I am going to drop it in the back slightly, not too much, but y'all do know that I like to drop my fades in the back a little bit on every haircut. So that's what I'm doing here, just bringing it down in the back a little bit, and then I'm going to follow this line all the way to the opposite side. And then once I'm done with this, I'm going to take my my FX3 shaver, and I'm going to get the sides all the way down the skin. So I know I say this in every video, but when I'm razoring the sides, guys, the closer I get to that line that y'all see right there, I start relieving some pressure, and I start using a flick out motion. And the reason why I do that is it makes it a lot easier to take out that line, and it basically doesn't leave too harsh of a line. So when I'm fading, it's not too hard to take out. Alright, so now I'm going in with my 50 cals by Caliber. And I have my clipper, I said that weird. I have my clipper with the lever all the way open, and I'm coming up a section. Now this section that I'm coming up is about half an inch or so, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch, and I'm setting in my next guideline. And normally, you know, you could set this going all the way around, but due to me doing the video, I'm only going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to set this guideline in on this side of the head, and then I'm going to close my lever halfway, and I'm going to come halfway into this section, and then I'm going to close my lever notch by notch, and then I'm going to work my way down. So by the time my lever is all the way closed, I should be attacking that bottom line. Now, mind you guys, these clippers aren't zero gap. This is straight out of the box still. I did not zero gap these clippers. So when I close my lever all the way to take out that bottom line, it's not going to take it out completely. And that's fine, because I know that I can always come back later on with my trimmers if needed to get that bottom line out. And I used to be really big on zero gapping all of my tools, but here recently I haven't really been zero gapping you know, my clippers too much. So my next step is I have my number 1 guard on my clipper. My lever is all the way open, and I'm coming up another section. So as you can see, I am using a slight flick out motion, setting in that line. You know, I'm still coming up about ½ an inch or so. Trying to be real nice and consistent with it all the way back. And as you can see, I'm going over it a good amount of time, just making sure that it's all down to that length. And then I'm gonna close my clipper all the way and start attacking that bottom line. And technically you can come about halfway into the section, because this clipper close isn't gonna get rid of that line completely. I know I'm gonna have to come back in with my 0 guard or my 1/16 guard to get that line completely out. So this is my 1/16 guard. My lever is halfway open, and now I'm really just barely attacking that line at the bottom of that section. And then as you can see, I'm going to be closing my lever, doing some lever play, trying to get rid of these dark areas and these lines that you see now. Alright, so now I'm going in with my 1.5 guard. My lever is all the way open, coming up another section, still using a slight flick out motion. And remember guys, when I say I'm using a slight flick out motion, do not overthink it and do not overdo it. It's just like the slightest of flick out motions. And I set in that next line, and then I close my lever all the way, and I start attacking the bottom of that section. And that should, for the most part, get rid of this line. And once again, guys, if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. I can always come back in later with a smaller guard and take care of it if it's needed. So this is my number 2 guard. My lever is open. And as you can see, I'm just, you know, trying to debulk these sides some more using a flick out motion, floating that clipper the closer I get to the parietal ridge, or the closer I get, you know, to what I did with that number 4 guard. And now that that is done, what I'm doing is I'm taking my number 4 guard once again, and I'm just going over this section one more time. You know what I'm saying? I want to get it all down to that length, make sure that it's fading into the sides. So I'm going to use that number 4 guard here again, just floating that clipper, fading that clipper, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get this area as clean as I can get it. So now I'm going in with my number 3 guard. And I'm going in with my lever closed. You can actually go in with your lever open if you like. It doesn't matter really. I'm just really just floating this clipper with that number 3 guard so that it fades into that number 4 and to that longer hair a little easier. And like I said, guys, you can go in with the lever open first. Just for whatever reason, I decided not to. So now he still has, you know, some bulk in some areas, you know, some dark lines that I want to get rid of. So I'm going in with my blending shears, and I'm using my shear over comb technique. And all I'm doing is barely attacking these areas to get rid of that bulk and to get rid of some of them lines that I see in the fade. So now I'm moving on to the lineup, guys. Once again, these are the Babyliss Low Pro FX, and I started off with my guideline in the middle of the head. You know what I'm saying? I set in my initial guideline, and I just worked my way over to that vertical bar, and then, you know, I just put that line in as sharp as I can get it without going back too far. And as you can see, there is a small line at the bottom of that fade, and I'm gonna take that out right here after I do this. So here is my X Evo by Gamma, and I'm just, you know, just attacking that bottom line, getting that bottom line out. That way the fade transitions well from bald, you know, to hair. and now I'm just going back in and doing some detail work. And that's basically my steps, guys. Like once I line them up, I go back in and do some more detail work. And the reason why I do that is I feel after you put that line up in their hair, you can see more discrepancies. You can see some dark areas you need to tend to. However, I do want to say that don't overthink it and overdo it, because sometimes that can cause you to mess up the whole haircut. So now what I'm doing here is, I didn't do this originally, but I'm just doing some shear over comb. I'm not using, you know, my blending shears. It was just regular shears, and I just felt that helped me, you know, bring this fade together a little better. And yeah, guys, but like I was saying, don't over detail. I know sometimes I go back in and I start detailing too much, and I basically change the whole fade around. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you don't want to do. Once you have a good product, just detail it enough to where it's a good product, and it's better than what it was initially, but not to where you have to do, you know, too much extra work, because that can happen. And I kind of feel that I was on the verge of making that happen on this haircut. So I did want to make sure that I stated that, so y'all know, don't overthink it and don't overdo it. Just, you know, go over your steps, detail it a little bit, and then if you have to, step away from that side of the haircut for a little bit, you know, look at something else, look at the other side of the haircut, line up the beard, and then you'll really see like, okay, I don't have that much more work to do. Like this side is basically done. Alright guys, so now that the left side of his haircut is done, I'm moving on to the opposite side. And remember guys, what you do to one side, you gotta do to the other. So I'm basically gonna be doing the same exact steps, so I'm not gonna really talk too much about the steps that I'm doing. But what I am gonna talk about is these clippers that you see me using. Once again guys, these are the 50 cal BMG by Caliber. When I first got these clippers, guys, I ain't gonna lie, I was super excited about them. I was like, man, this is my first Caliber clippers. I've never really used them before, so I was really excited to use them. And I did not get the other 50 cals that they have, because I really didn't like the shape of them. But these, I like the way they look when I saw them on the internet. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and get these, knock them off, and see what they do. So they are a good clipper, but I just don't think they're for me. Now, originally when I got them, you know, the first day I used them, I felt that they worked really well, and I still think they do work. I still think they work really well. I just, like I said, I just don't think they're for me. One bad thing, well, I don't want to say a bad thing, but for me, it might just be my clipper, I don't know. But like I said earlier in this video, when it came to cutting wet hair, it just wasn't working that well. And I know a lot of times, you know, we don't cut wet hair, but sometimes, like in this instance, you know, I still had his top of his hair still wet, so you know, it didn't cut it well. Now I know I could have blow dried it and everything, but I didn't want it to poof up too much. That's why I didn't blow dry it. But you know, that was one of the things I really didn't like. And then they do work, you know, other than that, I ain't gonna lie, I guess they do work pretty good. But honestly guys, like, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, if y'all follow me on Instagram, matter of fact, follow your boy at Tank_B_chopping, or if you watch my other videos, you know that I did get the unreleased Low Pro FX, so I've been using those a lot. And then I got the unreleased Sabers by Stylecraft, so I've been using those a lot. So maybe that's a reason why I haven't used these clippers so much. And I'm not saying that they're bad clippers. I still use them every now and then, but every time I use them, I don't know, I don't like the way that my blends come out. You know, I always catch myself going back and using another clipper to detail. And even though that's cool, you know, that's okay to do, when I use one clipper, I like to use that one clipper for the whole haircut. And every once in a while, yeah, I will switch the clipper up and use another clipper to detail it. But I just felt that I found myself going back to other clippers too often when I use these. Now, once again, that could just be me and my clipper, or that just could be my skills. Maybe I'm not that good with these clippers as I thought I was, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, guys, I do think they are a good clipper. Once again, they're just not for me. So I will be using them here and there, but I just want y'all to stay tuned, because I might be giving these clippers away. I might be giving them away. So y'all make sure to hit that like button if y'all think I should give these clippers away. And if y'all do think I should give these clippers away, go ahead and just let me know in the comment section. If you want these clippers, let me know you want these clippers, and I'll see what's up, man. I might end up giving them away, you know, sooner than 5K. I know I was planning a big giveaway at 5K, but you know, just let me know and we'll see what's up. But anyways, guys, as you can see, I'm getting back into this haircut. Your boy is lining him up. I did this side of the haircut, and as you can see, it's looking pretty blurry. I still have to go back in and detail it a little bit. Still got the beard to do. That's what I'm doing right now. But as y'all can see, guys, when it comes to the beard, I'm barely tapping it, and that was his preference. He wanted it as, you know, as high on the cheek as I can keep it.
Damn it, Tito.
But yeah, guys, y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut so far. If y'all haven't liked this video, please make sure to like this video. Also, please make sure to share my content with your fellow barbers or anyone looking to become a barber, wants to know anything about barbering. Like I do this for y'all. You know, I really hope that y'all appreciate the work that I put in. I like doing these videos, and I'm just trying to get my stuff out. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just freehanding this beard, following the same shape, but I'm cleaning it up. But anyways, guys, you know, I just did a little bit of that work, but this is the final product of the haircut. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. And that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, let's go.